Hello everyone, welcome back to Brian's Bench. In today's video, we'll be talking about a concept that has changed my life, the way I look at life. It's called pre-birth planning. What is that? It's planning a life before you were born. And I'll tell you what, I think about this almost every day. Life challenges, I've gone through life challenges you may have gone through right now, and it might help explain why I ended up living alone for much of my adult life. And so, let's say right now you're single, you're divorced, possibly widowed, or separated from your husband or your wife. What led up to that? What happened to you? What's going on? So I tell you what, this book right here, it's called Your Soul's Plan. Discovering the Meaning of the Life You Planned Before You Were Born by Robert Schwartz. I tell you what, this book is amazing. I think about it all the time. Now, I found out about this because I was looking at this website called afterlifetv.com, afterlifetv.com, and Bob Olson is the guy who runs this site. It's all about talking about the concept of life after death. He goes into a lot of detail about that, a lot of interviews about this whole concept of life after death. Well, in one of the interviews he had with Robert Schwartz, this is done like 10 years ago or whatever it was, amazing. I'm going to leave the link below. Robert Schwartz was interviewed by Bob Olson. And Robert Schwartz is talking about pre-birth planning. What happens in your life right now was planned before you were born. And let's say you are going through something really challenging in your life, or you have gone through something in your life, or let's say your mother, your father, your brother, or sister, or relative, whoever it might be, had some horrible disease. Cancer went on for years, or some terrible tragedy in their life, in your life. And why? Why did it happen? It's all planned before you were born. Now, again, let's say you're single right now, or you're separate, or divorced. What happened? Why did this happen? Well, according to this book, according to Robert Schwartz, and I really believe this now, it's all planned before you were born. Why do people go through some terrible thing? What is these terrible people we hear about in the news all the time? Why are these people even existing in their lives? What's going on? Well, I'll tell you what, this book right here, and Robert Schwartz talks about this fact that the way you are right now is all part of your soul group. Your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, aunts and uncles, your friends, co-workers, people you've known in your life from school or whatever it might be, they're all part of a big soul group. So in the previous life, you may have been your father's mother, or let's say your mother and father right now, maybe you're their parents or their relative or their coworker, wherever it might be. You're all part of this big soul group, you see. So you all agree to do certain things in certain lives. And according to Robert Schwartz, and I believe this as well, we've all had many, many previous lives. And what led up to all the life we have right now is based on our previous lives. Now, in one of the chapters here, he's talking about, let's see, it's chapter number 5, I think it is. Yeah, chapter 5. He's talking about the problem of drug addiction and alcoholism. Why people become drug addicted, become alcoholics, and all that jazz. And why do people get like that? What's the point? Well, he talks about that in the book here. So I'm going to leave the link below here about this book. He also writes a book called Your Soul's Gift, which is a second book to this book right here. And if you have any questions all about your life right now, what happened in your life right now? Why are you single? Why are you going through some horrible disease, some cancer you might have had, an accident you had in your life? What led up to that? What's going on with that? So it really has changed my way I look at life. Here's an example. Okay, all right. Back in 2021, my mom and dad were coming out of Walmart. All right, mom at that point was 90 years old and doing very well. This is a week before Thanksgiving in 2021. And mom and dad were walking out of Walmart. And mom was pushing the cart. She's trying to find a ramp to go across the crosswalk, you know. She couldn't find one. She went over the curb. And just as she pushed her cart over the curb, the car ran right in front of her. And she slipped and fell right smack on the pavement, face down on the pavement, bang on the wall on the sidewalk, and it's right outside of Walmart. Again, she's going across the crosswalk. A car was right in front, racing in front of her, didn't stop. Mom let go of the cart, and she went face down on the pavement. Boom! And she suffered severe injuries to her face. The left side of her face looked like she was hit by a bus. And she had a broken collarbone, broken left arm, all the way down her body, which is a real mess. Again, she was 90 years old, but she was still very, very well. And she went to Walmart to buy some gifts for her brother and sister. So she walks outside again. She falls, boom, on the pavement. And I'll tell you this: she never recovered completely. Mom lived for another 4 months. She passed away in March of 2022. But Mama told me many, many times that she wanted to pass away in her sleep, and she did. She passed away peacefully at this rehab hospital place, and that's how she passed away. But the thing about it is that why did Mom choose to die that way? It was a slow death because when she fell down on the pavement, she went to the hospital and they sent her home that day, which was a big mistake because she fell down again at home and had to bring out the ambulance to get her back to the hospital. It was a real mistake. The doctors made a big mistake by letting her go home that first night. So, but the thing about it is that Mom lived to be 90 years old, which is pretty good. So I have no, it's sad the way it happened because her internal injuries become worse and worse, and she just never recovered from it. And so she developed dementia, didn't know where she was, didn't know who we were. And before that, she was sharp as a tack. She very smart person, the most wonderful person in the world she was. Everybody loved Mom. She was my best friend. I miss her every day. But see, Mom and I believe in life after death. We all believed in that, you see. That's the thing about it. So when I look at this book, Your Soul's Plan, pre-birth planning, Mom must have planned her accident before she was born. She decided to pass away in some odd way, unusual way, going smack down on the pavement and never recovering from it. Not really. So anybody who has had an accident in your life, let's say a car accident or some other thing, again, an illness, cancer, whatever it might be, it's all done before you're born. So I highly recommend checking out that book and checking out the website, afterlifetv.com, and also listening to the interviews conducted by Bob Olson and Robert Schwartz. And it's really amazing what they talk about. It's just changed my way I look at life, help explain why I ended up single and alone most of my life, living alone most of my life. Check it out. I'll leave the links below and check it out if you have any interest in that concept at all. Again, this is Brian from Brian's Bench. We'll talk again soon about another topic. Have a great day, everybody. Take care now. Bye-bye. Take care.